one of the things that I think about with insomnia is if you don't listen to yourself in the day, then you're gonna have to reckon with yourself at night. That's something I think about. If you're not living in a way that brings you peace and takes your heart rate down and takes your cortisol down at night, if you're just putting yourself into circumstances that you have to caffeinate in order to get through, it can be a medical thing, like a thyroid thing, but then a lot of people, they get hypothyroidism from being too fat. So it can be sometimes a medical thing, but usually it's like you're just not reorienting your life to the degree that you need. A lot of people get into a situation where they're really tied into a career. They're really tied into a work track, and it doesn't serve them, and they're not willing to be honest about it. And so they spend like 30 years working the same career, nursing along insomnia and coffee. And I just think that's really tragic. But it comes from not being given a lot of choices, I think, as a kid. Or a lot of people will actually, it's still incredible, because I lose touch with this because I kind of I'm a little bit in rarefied company because you guys are so awesome. I've only run in like elite circles for like a decade now. But a lot of people work the jobs that their parents wanted them to choose. A lot of people work the jobs they were steered toward and influenced to choose by their parents, and they are miserable because they're just living choices that their parents made for them. A lot of people are living like this, and then they struggle. They struggle on the backside, which is that their true self is trying to emerge, and your defenses are down a bit at night because you're by yourself. And when you're by yourself, the other thing too is like a lot of people go to public school and they hate it. Like this is the case for me sometimes, is I would stay up late on the weekends because it was like the way to max out my time away from public school. I hated public school. If you're obligated in the day, at night you don't want, what do you want? You want to be obligated to sleep? Like you want to cut loose. You want to do something different, Or another one with insomnia is that the people around you are just unbearable. And so, during the day. And so getting time alone at night is a way of having relief and having your patterns and having what you're accustomed to, having a deeper dialogue with yourself to some extent. But then the lack of integration is what keeps people into insomnia. Yeah, you really shouldn't drink coffee if you have a sleep problem. I'm pretty sensitive to coffee, so I have to stay away from it. But yeah, those are some of the variations on insomnia. And then another one too is like with insomnia it comes from trauma and what can happen. There's a few variations, but on the trauma theme. But people who are traumatized, I said the thing that they, you have bad people around you. Well, they choose bad people. But another one too is like a fear of other people. And being alone at night is a big relief from that. And then also people's sleep is so screwy because adults, they raise their kids and they have these screwy sleep habits. Like one of our neighbors, and this is trauma. One of our neighbors lets their kids stay up till the sun goes down. So in the middle of summer, this is Montana, we're up here. So in the middle of summer, the kids are like staying up till 11 p.m. And they're just outside like yelling, just outside yelling. But in the middle of winter, they're like going to bed at 7 p.m. And they're going to public school, and it's a disaster. Oh my gosh, what stress to put into kids, like have a floating bedtime. Some people would be like, oh, but Steve, Sun Tzu says rise with the sun in the morning and go to bed with the moon at night. And I'm just like, no, no, if you're a kid, you need 9 hours a night, slate it out, have a routine,